Friends, good morning. Uh, Last time, as a part of our experience in recent elections, we had made some observations. One related to corporates. Some friends objected to it, which is absolutely correct, because corporatocracy corporatocracy, like democracy and democracy, can be good or bad both, but mostly it is used to reflect the evil aspects of corporates. But our objective was not that. Our objective for discussion was that money is the need of running the modern life. Politics, society, human beings, corporates all need money. But who makes the money in decent way, following the rules and regulations? Sometimes in Sanatan it is called dharma, which is the rules of existence. Right? Those who follow rules of existence and earn money are the supporters of society. They give donations, they give help to politicians, they give help to society, they give help to the needy people in the society and help society to evolve. But those who use evil ways to exploit, like some entrepreneurs try to popularize negative ways of life, negative ways of living, and use corporate power for that, that is evil corporatocracy. So, first thing we request everyone to understand that when we said corporates, uh, in that context, we were talking of money needed for running political systems and society, and corporates generate that money. Good corporates contribute for the growth, and evil corporates, which are part of corporatocracy, exploit the society. So we humbly request all to correct it, understand it in that context. But there were other experiences which came in the same period. On 18th March 25, Hindi Hindustan in NCR, mainly in Ghaziabad and Delhi, published a report about criminals in politics. And their observation was that 45% of the Vidhayaks were criminal or had criminal cases as per their own declared statements in the election papers. For this, they had surveyed 4,123 candidates in 28 states and 3 centrally ruled places and found that all parties, this was a report by ADR, right? And they found that every party, all important parties, according to them, and I quote, BJP 39%, INC 52%, TMC 95%, and every state, Andhra 79%, Kerala 69%, Bihar 66%, Maharashtra 69%, Tamil Nadu 59%, etc., etc., and it was going to cover all states in the country. This report was an eye opener for two reasons. That this is the copy of that report which I am showing. I'm sure you can see the 18th March Hindustan, right? Page 9, and see what exactly was written in the report. Our objective is something else. In addition to what we said in the previous video discussion, we found some other things also, and today we want to discuss those. The first, politics, the purpose, the objectives, the games. As we had stated many times earlier, there are roughly around 4 to 5,000 parties, of which 2,500 plus are registered. Some of these have only the presidents and some office bearers, and some of these have members also. Question is, why so many parties? Why so many NGOs? And why everybody wanting to get involved into elections? Because they need to elect office bearers. And this election process indirectly leads to politicization of those organizations and institutions. Education. I'm sure if you read the reports which come in the newspapers, while governments are doing all best efforts, current government has even brought out a new education policy which is supposed to make it enlightened system. But the fact of the life remains, privatization has two aspects. One, improvement of quality in various institutions, including education, and second is corruption, exploitation of the institutions and education for making money. So, where does this corruption start? The point which we want to discuss is where corruption starts. Let us first take the institutions of education. Making and running an institution requires money. But by definition, an NGO is a non-profit organization. So how do the institutions get the money? If they cannot make profit, they cannot have money to run it, to manage it, and government has all type of rules made in the name of policies to make the world's best institutions. If we use wrong policies, the activities will also be wrong. If money is needed by organizations to run, there should be a legal way of making money and not force people to adopt corruption. This is the first part. This goes further to the politics. Elections cannot be fought in democracy, particularly in India and even in USA, without money. In USA, people collect money openly, but in India, there is no system of collecting money openly by candidates. Parties get the donations, and parties get donations by various methods, and hence the corruption also comes in the way. This applies everywhere. The point to note is money is needed for running the day-to-day activities of people, society, and politicians and politics. If this money is not legally available, if government policies do not ensure, people will automatically adopt to corruption. I have participated, as I stated earlier, in Lok Sabha and also seen the Vidhan Sabha and institutional. I have been president of NGOs and etc. Money is needed everywhere, but in NGOs not so much. NGOs you can do without money. Hence the corruption should not be there. But or other places where money is needed, and particularly political systems. Every person whom you meet says, what is there for me? What is there for me does not come from the air. It has to be produced from somewhere. What is there for me requires money. And candidates are not financially strong. So where do they produce the money from? They ask for donations. And those who give donations expect some favors, and hence corruption starts. The first need is to create right policies to make the system enlightened, to make honest system where people have freedom to legally take money and do the legal activities, including politics. The second part, education. Education is for making people enlightened, for making people understand that what is life, how life is to be run, how it is to be managed. Education requires money, and hence money should be allowed. But since educated people are, students particularly, are an asset for the nation should stand with them and hence provide for all. Those who don't need, they will not take or ask them to donate back, but lay down some rules like you have economy based scholarships, etc. But don't leave it free. Make it policy controlled and suiting to the ways of life in today. The third aspect is people. People need money. Government is giving cash and also giving food items and providing facilities like toilets and gas, home, etc. But fact of the life is, while it is being given to millions, there are still millions who don't have it. Who are those millions? They don't have below poverty line cards. They don't have registered land so that they can get the doles for farmers. They are not probably that organized. They are daily workers, and there is no system to protect them. And worst part is, by giving free buys, unfortunately those people who have some resources to generate funds in the villages, they are also taking it and working in cities to earn extra money. Consequently, there is no workforce available. An ordinary citizen of city who doesn't have land property in village to show as agricultural land or lives only on a rented house, how does he or she manage her life? Some organizations have started voters' pension or citizens' pension. Good idea. But which citizens? Every citizen needs some help or the other. And can nation generate so many resources that they can provide to everybody? So the need is to think how to generate funds, and funds cannot be generated by everybody. Please understand, we have a system known as caste, which defines some people, and they are actually supposed to be the qualities of the people, not the caste by birth. For example, there are some people good in teaching and learning. They can become teachers, but they cannot generate business. There are some people who are good as warriors, can protect the borders and protect people, but they cannot generate funds all the time. There are some people who are business minded and who can generate funds. They generate funds and they donate also. And we had a tradition of creating pyaus, which is water places, and rest places like dharamshalas. But these are also become now commercial ventures. The need is to streamline old system of donating. CSR has been created, but CSR is also being exploited. Corporates use CSR for their own projects and don't help the serious or real social working NGOs. If they give for exploitation or for their own gains. Therefore, the key to problem in the society today is corruption. The problems in the society are generated by corruptions. Where is corruption? Everywhere. Look at the banks. You go to the bank, they don't give you anything in writing. They expect from you everything and they say take or don't take. I have faced situations at this age. Some people are so good that they go out of it to help you, but there are also evil-minded who make you stand, who will give you a check to get it signed by their manager, and not send themselves to get it signed before giving you money. So what do you do with such people? And they are nationalized banks, not just private, nationalized. Second side, they will give you loan and use DSAs. DSAs have their own priorities and ways, and they swindle the people for making money, right? And banks don't give properly in writing. I have a very living case where a sanction letter given by the bank was not honored. Not one, two, three. Three letters given by the bank. They imposed whatever they wanted, but they did not follow what they offered in that and adopted. Where do I go? Written to a highest authority in this country in administration, right? Nothing has happened. Written to RBI, nothing has happened. When I went to the manager, he said, "Sir, you go anywhere. Final reply, we only generate and send to the RBI to give it to you. Call ombudsman or anything." This is the reality of life. This is the reality of life. I personally have been swindled from 1989 till now. 45,000 rupees by a corporate in 1989. 4.5 lakh rupees by an institution in 2008, and roughly 8 lakh rupees by another institution in 2012. I have approached everyone, but I have failed. Consequently, I have bank loan where they are charging 23 plus percent, and I have to pay it. Where do I get the money from? I cannot rob people, I cannot tell lies, and hence I will have to take other loans and pay to the bank, because there is no agency or authority in this country where you can go and ask for redress. These are the issues. When I'm talking, I have written proof. I have written to highest office in this country of the government, of this state in the government, the RBI ombudsman, right? Chairmen who are called the top people, Chief Justice, and end result is minus. Because they all want later, appointment later. And our institutions are so good that they give you, "Oh, we will give you, it is in your file," and that file vanishes. You can't even fight because you are not working for pleasure, you are working for survival. Every living human being, including the Chief Secretary of Government of India, is working for survival, for his own existence. Those who make top money, I'm not talking about it. Those who have hundreds, thousands, 200 crores of worth of property and earning, I'm not talking of them. I'm talking of honest, dedicated civil workers or workers of the government. I have been in government. They all are hand to mouth. They cannot survive without taking loans from the bank or from Provident Fund. This is the reality of life, right? And there are no policies in this country where you can do, because when in a country politicians themselves are involved in criminal cases and they are the policy makers, what policies will come? What institutions will emerge? What situation will emerge? It is in front of us. Now, some people use quotes. I believe, this is my understanding, maybe wrong, quotes are used like Baisakis, like the support system. When I'm not able to convey to you or convince you, I use a quote. I will quote Gandhi ji or Plato or God or somebody, great name whom nobody can contradict. That's not required. A quote is not needed if we all understand each other properly. If we are enlightened, if we are well educated, there is no need. But unfortunately, human mind is such that we all think whatever we are saying is right. But what others are saying, no, it's not right. Friends, this needs to be corrected. I recently have come across some great technical brains who want to create a new world. There were politicians who were working for world order. There are parties in India itself who are working to make the world government, They have appointed themselves president, secretaries, and whatnot of world government, right? They think they are the ones who will run the government. They cannot run their own organization properly. They need money for everything, and since there is no policy and they don't want to openly ask for money, so they use hoodwinking methods, bad methods, exploit other people, give them, make somebody vice president, make somebody chairman in the party or something, and expect that they will fund them for free. Can it happen? Does everybody has money to pay for somebody's political ambitions? So these are the issues which are in the society, and since society does not want to openly address these, there is corruption in the society. Therefore, the need today is politicians with crime. I'm sure many of them would not have adopted that path if there was a way to out. So they may be right also in some way. But there should be a system. If an ordinary government servant with little case against cannot stand for anything, why should anyone else in the country be allowed to stand for national service and policy making particularly? Therefore, need is to correct our judicial system, need is to correct our political system, need is to correct our social system, need is to correct human beings who are stakeholders in every field and are actually the cause of all the good and bad in the society. The last point, we talk of four pillars. Look at media. Today, you go to the TV and you see the various debates. Who are the people sitting there? And why are they needed? Media is supposed to provide news to the people and leave it to their judgment. But no, they are not giving news, they are giving views. They are trying to create minds of the people. How will corruption end? Why should a saint or a politician be involved in discussing issues which are not for their field? Political systems are being discussed by the people with the background of their defense, armed forces. Political systems are being discussed by the religious people whose job is to make people understand. And religious issues are being discussed by everybody else except the religious leaders. And religious leaders are doing politics, are doing corruption and whatnot. How will the society work? Therefore, friends, the need is to create good human beings. Recently, I met a very great scholar who wants to correct human beings by putting chips into their brains. Well, God bless them, if that is the way it is. But there are other ways. In our system, the evolution system, they're having God. Some people don't like God, by the way. Word God they don't like. They think it is a corruption. Okay, maybe they think so. I believe there is some super force which is generated this world and running this world. And that force is so capable that has generated inside us a system by which we can become enlightened and know what is good and what is evil. Though unfortunately in that also many people exploit it, but we are not talking of that. There is a nature built system inside human beings. Some say your apni atma se pooche, your soul will tell. Right? But fact is there is a system inside. If education understands that and makes good people, I am sure society will be good. If we want a good world, this is to all those who are making world governments. Those who want to make good nation, this is for all those who want to make great Bharat or great India or great nations. If we want to create good institutions, this is for those who want to create institutions, whether law, whether education, whether business or whatever it may be. Ultimately, human beings are the key to all. Unless we create good human beings, unless we inculcate the sense of good and bad among human beings in their thinking, sense of discrimination to know what is bad, what is good, and adopt good, world cannot be corrected, made good, or survived. We request to work for creating good human beings, enlightened human beings who can make the world better. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Vishwa.